Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey. I am Rob, and Carter here as well. Carter, how you doing?
Man, I am great. How are you?
Man, I am good. There's a nice looking beverage in front of me, so it's always good to start the show that way.
Yeah, man. I thought for a change of pace we could try a beer, and this happens to be one that me and my good friend Brendan Emig, who should probably come on the show sometime, brewed a couple years back. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty tasty.
Was it just you and Brendan? It wasn't my man, Mr. Francis, wasn't involved?
He's brewed with us before, but this one was just him and I.
Okay. Sorry, Chris. No love for you today.
Chris has brewed tons of beer with me over the years. So, we used to be, before I got really into kind of wine and spirits and things like that, man, I was almost all beer. And as our friend of the show, Chris Ruling, has said, we are extreme hobbyists. And
yes.
So I was definitely extreme hobbyist when it came to beer brewing. But anyway, this is one just to kind of give everybody a little picture of it. This is a pretty big beer. It's about 11%. It's
ABV.
Yeah.
I like that. Something with a punch.
It's something with a punch. It's more of we call it the name for the beer. We called it Krampus, the creepy Eastern European devil thing.
Yeah.
But it's like a Christmas ale. And I guess we're getting around to that kind of season. Where
I get a lot of breading on it, on the yeasties coming out.
You will get that. You'll definitely get that out of this because of because we use Trappist yeast. So we use the Belgian yeast.
Okay.
And that will, generally speaking, kind of give off those bread.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of that Belgian beers in general. But yeah, we a lot of grain in this one. We actually put some good old simple syrup sugar in there to even a little bit to bump up the ABV.
And it's covering up but something's covering up the alcohol. It's not drinking that much alcohol. At least maybe I'll feel it later, but on the palate, I'm not getting that much alcohol.
Well, post fermentation, we added vanilla bean, we added clove, and we added some bourbon-soaked cocoa nibs as well. So, this was a complicated beer. This is probably one that a brewery probably doesn't want to do because it's just too many damn steps. And you probably can't make money off of it. But yeah, it's...
How long have you had this beer? Been in bottle for how long?
I think we brewed it in 18.
Okay.
So beers like this, that...
They have a decent shelf life.
That are big like this tend to have good shelf life. You kind of will lose some of the downside is you lose some of the vanilla bean because that's kind of a fleeting thing. You'll lose maybe some of the just initial punchy spice, but sometimes it's just better because it's more well rounded. So anyway.
Well, I think this is to your point, very well-rounded, good balance on this beer. I think people who saw this in the glass would think big, heavy beer, and it's not. It's not heavy at all.
I really like the mouthfeel on this beer.
I do, too.
I think it's very silky, and it was in bottle. We carbonated in bottle, so it wasn't like when you keg beer and you add CO2 to it and that kind of thing. You can bottle from that too, but yeah, this was in bottle fermentation, so sometimes that can be a good thing, sometimes that could be a bad thing. But it ended up working out. It's plenty.
How many bottles do you have left?
Maybe 8.
Okay, maybe 7 or 6 after tonight. Never know.
Well, I think beer is kind of one of those things too. We're recording during the day this time.
Yeah.
And we got some baseball in the back, a little ALCS going on here. Had some football going earlier. It's a
fall afternoon. It screams fall.
Yeah, and I think beer kind of goes well with that kind of
Absolutely.
stuff. So anyway, well, cheers. I'm glad you like the beer.
Yeah, cheers. This is the first time I've had this from you. This is the first time I've had any beer that you've made.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a boatload in the pantry that we need to open then.
Well, another one of these might be good.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
delicious, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Our episode today, we're back on another salad bowl episode, which, man, I've been waiting to do another one of these. We did that last episode, and I had a blast doing it. You got in a little trouble. Maybe, said some things.
I think my wife knows me really well, so she probably was just like shaking her head, be like, "Yeah, that's my husband right there."
I didn't bring it up tonight, but she did mention it before she left. She remembers that episode.
Yeah, she as soon as she listened to it, she definitely let me know. Hey, I guess my your daughter
shackles
and
over
I
here
are considered shackles to you. I'm like, yeah, that's not really, but.
So, we're going to dive into another salad bowl episode. This is where we have, at my house, my wife or friends that come over, we have paper and pen out. Anything related to food or drink or anything, you can write either a statement and we will agree with it, or a question or whatever. We'll pull them out blindly.
Yeah.
We'll see what it says, and we'll give our opinions and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So bowls in front of you. I say you get to fire the first shot.
Sure. Let me look at it. Gosh, we got bases loaded right here too. This is
bases loaded, no outs. Had an error in the outfield with a dropped pop fly.
Oh yeah. Hey, just my opinion on this. Just hit it into the deep outfield. Who cares, right?
Just get that other run across.
That's exactly what you want to do.
Yep, that'll get a run
right home. There. Okay, so we have got. Oh wow. Okay, this one is interesting. I'm going to tell you, I know my answer already, but so anchovies on pizza, yes or no?
Oh.
Here's the thing. I don't like anchovies.
Okay.
Like just in general.
In a Caesar dressing, you're fine with it. Really?
Not really. Like
really?
I don't like chopped up whole like anchovy in there. Now the flavoring is fine, but like I don't know, something about the oiliness of the fish or something like that.
Really?
That I just don't get into it.
I'm not like a huge fan where I request it, but if somebody said I'm going to make a pizza and my ingredients include anchovies, would I eat a slice? Sure.
Shit, yeah. I mean, like, and that's kind of the way I feel too about the nice base hit. That's kind of the way I feel about like a lot of things. Like, man, if I were to go to Italy and somebody made a pizza that had some anchovies on it, like big famous, chef or something. Sure.
Does it have to be a big famous chef?
No. If it
could be Nana in the kitchen making a nice pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm good with trying it.
Yeah.
There's a Russian dish called it's called shuba. It's kind of a layered salad that they do like potatoes and carrots, and they have like pickled herring and that kind of stuff in it. I have tried it many, many times. It's extremely popular in Russia. It's just not for me. It's just that fishy taste is so powerful.
Aren't anchovies, if I remember right, too? Aren't they pretty salty like a sardine?
They are, and they're put in oil.
So they're canned. You almost have to rinse them off probably before you use them. I don't know if you do.
And maybe that's the method. I don't know.
Again, I don't eat them a lot, but like I said, I've had them on pizzas, and they didn't just gross me out or make me gag or anything, but it's not something, when we do pizza night, I'm not going, ooh, I got to get anchovies.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, okay, we'll move on.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one. And okay. Oh gosh, this one, okay, is this, we're both going to agree on this.
Okay.
Can you eat only one potato chip?
Well, no.
That is like, I mean, if the life of my family were on the line, then I could do it.
Yeah.
But But if I had the option, it just...
Well, who goes into any kind of gathering or, you're sitting on the couch watching a ball game in the fall, you pull out a bag of chips, you take one and that's it? Usually with me, I'm sorry, it's usually 2 or 3 going in with one push in.
Well, yeah. Well, with me, I'll put them in... I'll just grab a handful.
That's what I mean.
Just sit there and just eat them.
I don't know that anybody does one. I guess that gets back to, wasn't there a commercial for one of the brands that you can't eat one? Was it Pringles or something? I don't know what it was.
So I have a little side question for you. Kind of related to this question. So with like your regular either Ruffles or Lay's, like your just plain basic potato chip, is there a specific dip that you like best with the plain potato chip?
This might strike you a little bit.
Okay.
But with a plain, and I'm the Ridges guy.
I like Ridges as well.
I like that better than just the classic potato chip for me. I like a little texture, it's got a little bit more girth to it. Ladies, you know what I mean. You know how important that is. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing about the differences in the plain and the one with ridges, right? So to me, the ridges one is way better for dipping. The plain potato chip, I'm good with it, but I'm just eating plain potato.
Yeah, because it snaps on you real easy.
Yeah,
it's very thin.
Yeah, you're not going to go with that for like a day.
So to answer your question, this might surprise you. Do you have 2 or 3 in your mind that you think I might say? Because I don't think what I'm going to say. Well, I'm not going to give you a hint. Do you have 2 and 3 in your mind that you think might be in my top?
Only like the your normal like French onion dip or like a ranch dip or like a vegetable dip or something like that.
Here's my answer. You ready?
Okay.
I love a plain potato chip. I just do. The Ridges. I love potato chip. And I love queso, chili con queso.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And to me, I prefer a potato chip over a tostada with queso all day long. My wife will laugh because we'll make queso. She'll pull out the tostadas, and I'll pull out the bag of potato chips.
Well, hey, I'm going to tell you, like, this is controversial as well. I prefer Fritos scoops with queso than I do just like a regular tostada.
I would agree. I would wholeheartly agree. I'm a big fan of the corn chip.
The corn chip is amazing.
When we do top 5 chips, we'll see where that lands, but it's up there.
Oh man, a Frito pie too, dude. Come on,
it's a very versatile chip.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bean dip, 7-layer dip. I mean,
absolutely. So should I pass this thing down to you?
You want me to pull a couple out?
Pull a couple out.
We haven't had some. Last episode we had a couple that took a while to get through. These are kind of
well, we might be going like
quick fires
lightning
round. Yeah. I kind of like that. Okay, here we go. Next one up. This is going to be okay. What is your favorite comfort food? And so there's some criteria here for me. This isn't like there's not a food. Let me just say it this way. I'm just going to simply say it depends on the time of year.
Yeah, I think that matters.
It does to me, because when it's cold in winter, there's certain foods that hit.
Yeah.
And when it's hot in the summer, or spring, there's other foods that, and comfort to me is not necessarily, it means for me something that I'm craving in a certain type of category that's going to make me feel a certain way. You know? And so when I eat this, I feel, it doesn't have to be heavy and full or anything. It just means it's made me happy.
Yeah. There is one kind of all-purpose one that I have that comes to mind.
Okay.
And it's chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes. And naturally, you definitely have to have a white cream gravy on the top.
With bacon in it.
Well, that sounds even better than normal. Yes.
It's funny you mention that because that's mine in the, kind of colder season with a good green bean with bacon in it and garlic. Ooh, but that's a dish. That's a definitely a big comfort dish for me in the fall.
Yeah. So I like that a lot, just generally speaking.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like in fall time, man, I love chili with like some corn chips and some cheese on top and that kind of stuff. I mean, to me, that's very comforting. I think during the summer, I don't know why this is more summer than country or chicken fried steak, but I'll go fried chicken. I think for some reason I associate that more with summertime.
Yeah, I think that's a backyard kind of cookout. It used to be a bigger thing, and you're from the South. Fried chicken is very popular. From the Midwest, we used to do a lot of fried chicken in the summertime. I think that's a good one. I mean, you think some people associate that with more of a winter thing?
I don't know.
Fried?
I think maybe some people, because it's fried, it's heavier or something, but I don't necessarily think of it. I mean, if you have good fried chicken, it can be very light.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of something. I'm trying to think of anything else that
For me, a go-to that I crave a lot that just kind of hits the spot for me in that kind of summertime, and, we have a bigger season for when this can kind of count. I'm a huge fan of shrimp tacos.
Ooh,
shrimp tacos with a good slaw and some black beans. It's a meal that I just absolutely enjoy. I mean, I could probably eat that 3 times a week.
Man, here's the thing. Like, I love that, but I would never associate it with comfort food.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Most people are thinking comfort food big and heavy, and so you could take it that way. But that's why I say I take it where it's the kind of food that I crave and makes me feel good after I eat it.
I get that. I get that.
Because if I'm going to go just strictly by the criteria of what most people would consider a comfort food, now I'm going to be in your like you said, fried chicken all day long. I'm more of a chicken fried chicken than I am a chicken fried steak. I'm not sure where you fall on that.
I think I'm more of a steak fan, but the steak you can mess it up very easily.
Pounded out and cooked well, because otherwise it can be tough.
Well, how was that? Now you and Dave Scott, friend of the show, Dave Scott.
This is different.
You guys did the backstrap.
That's totally different.
So how is that? I've never had it.
You've never had chicken fried backstrap?
No.
All right, Dave Scott, let's hook a boy up.
Well, I got some right there in that freezer.
Well, let's make
right
some.
there.
It's wintertime. It's comfort food. Next time we do one of these episodes for Salad Bowl, we'll report back on Carter's opinion of chicken fried backstrap.
I would love to try that.
Let's do it. Let's pull it out and never pull it out. Never pull it out. Let's pull it out and
there are times and places.
Let's make that dish here in the next month or so.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
I love that. Another thing that I kind of was thinking on the fly, because this is all kind of on the fly type conversation. I will say pot roast is definitely in the wintertime is definitely comfort food for me. Pot roast, mashed potatoes, vegetables.
Well, you want me to tell you where my mind goes for a comfort food? Kind of in that category, but kind of in a one dish kind of meal.
Okay.
It's the shepherd's pie.
Oh, definitely.
That is comfort food for me.
That is very good.
And it's a dish that you put together all in, so to speak, one pot. But my point is, when you scoop that out and put some on a plate, you're done. It's not like you're building a plate.
Oh, yeah.
And you just tear in. Now, it is key, in my opinion, to make some good homemade rolls with that as well, because there is some, sopping going on as you finish up that plate.
Another one that I was thinking of, and it kind of goes off of our episode with the winter foods and stuff like that. Man, a chicken pot pie.
Oh, chicken pot pies. I actually saw a recipe for one the other day in a cast iron that I thought was great.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, because he made a good point. He said when you cook a chicken pot pie, if you try to make that whole pie crust underneath, it usually gets soggy for most people. If you're not a pro chef, you probably end up with a base on that crust that's not what you want. It's not as crispy. Right. He goes, so why do it? Just cook it in a cast iron, put your crust on top, make a pie crust to put on top, cook it in there, and you're really just looking for that texture going down into your body. And I go, that's perfect. I want to try this because it's getting to be that time of year. That's a great one.
I love that. I love a chicken pot pie. Let me ask you a question. Does lasagna count as comfort food?
Oh, I think so. I think there's several pastas that can count as comfort food because pastas can be big and rich, and when you're talking about that criteria, they absolutely fit.
Okay.
And I'm a huge fan of lasagna.
Me too. I mean, dude,
making it homemade, it's a crowd pleaser.
To me, like you can't get better results comfort food wise for a party, for anything than lasagna.
Well, and it's great for a party. Perfect point, because you can prep this and have it prepared way ahead of time, even if you're making 2 pans of it because you're having 10 people over, and it's ready to go. All you're going to do is let your people come over, and when you're eating off a charcuterie board or whatever, you're going to throw those in the oven for an hour while they're cooking, and dinner's done. And that's, you and I have talked about this multiple times on the show. We love those kind of dishes when they're prepared ahead of time.
Hey, I'll tell you another thing.
Yeah.
This is it kind of falls into the category of chili. Like the same thing applies to lasagna. The next day, that lasagna is even better.
I mean, I think most dishes kind of, when you can put it in the fridge and it tightens up and those flavors marry together, and
that is
totally
a
agree.
Home run right there.
Now, another comfort food for me, and then I'm going to jump to a different category, but bisques, bisques and chowders are especially when you can do it like in a bread bowl, because then you kind of get that fillingness that, kind of fills you up and warms you up, and some flavors. And and I've actually, even though, we're here in Houston and it's not that cold, I've begun that already. In the last 2 weeks, I think on the weekends, I've made
You've
two
posted
different.
quite a few pictures of bread bowls.
I did a crab bisque and then and then I came right back with a crawfish bisque.
Yeah. I was thinking about, gosh, dang, it just slipped my mind. But, man, there's another thing, and I don't know if you've ever had this, but this is kind of like a comforting meal for me. When I see it on it's generally speaking like a Jewish type delicatessen type thing, but cabbage rolls. I'm a big fan of that. With like the tomato sauce on top of it and all that kind of stuff.
It's a Greek kind of thing, right?
I think it
can be.
It can be. I mean, it's Russian.
Okay, Russian.
They eat it. Polish people eat it quite a lot.
I know the Bosnians make a dish similar to that.
Yeah. So that.
Okay.
And then one final little thing.
And then I have one too. Go ahead.
Jambalaya.
Well, jambalaya or gumbo.
Yeah, well, I agree with
both of those. Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. And I've never made a gumbo, and it's on my list to do.
Yeah.
Tyler Martin said he would share a recipe, him being a Cajun boy.
You've never made a gumbo?
Never made one. I love eating them. I have made a jambalaya, and I love a jambalaya. It's the Cajun paella. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So both those dishes I absolutely think fall into the category. But here's what I'm going to throw at you, and you tell me if you disagree.
Okay.
Comfort food, some things that can apply to that, and to me, in that category, would be biscuits and gravy.
Oh, absolutely.
Pancakes.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of pancakes, but there's times where it's like, I just want like 3 big buttermilk pancakes and a tall glass of milk, and that's comfort food.
Well, I'm gonna throw a weird one at you.
Okay.
Donuts for me.
Is that a comfort food? Here's my problem with donuts. I got to eat 14 to get full.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do.
Okay.
So back, one thing that I just love is a hot donut with a chocolate milk. Specifically chocolate milk.
Yep, I'm with you there. Maybe my wife, when we do go out like on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning and get some kolaches, she'll want one donut, and she always tells me, pick me up a chocolate milk. She wants the little jug of milk out of the cooler. She doesn't want me to make a Hershey's one at home. She wants that, whatever it is, chocolate milk.
Well, okay, so this is another reason why I like your wife a lot.
Yeah.
We think very similarly.
You are on the same wavelength.
We are. And I'll tell you this. I used to be a huge Krispy Kreme donut fan.
I still am. I haven't had one in years, but I think I still am.
And I still like them. They're very sweet, though. And I like the Shipley's donuts. Very, very Texas. Very Houston, actually.
I was going to say Houston,
specifically. But the Shipley's donuts, hot, are very good.
Okay, I don't know that I've ever had a Shipley's hot. How do you get it hot?
Right down the street here on Allen?
I mean, continuously? Because that's the thing about what I remember, and again, it's been a while since I've had a Krispy Kreme, but they just had that conveyor belt going nonstop. They were like filling orders off of that hot. Shipley's, I've gotten donuts there, and I've never been to one where I get one hot.
So Shipley's, you have to go to the right locations.
Okay.
This one over here on like Ella and 610, they do hot donuts.
Okay.
So you have to go to the right locations, but the hot ones are magical.
Okay.
They're a little bit cakier than, they're not cakey because, when I think cakey, I think of
I like a cake donut too.
I like that, but this is not what I'm talking about.
You want the glazed? You want the chocolate?
Yes.
Are you a chocolate iced, on the glaze, or are you just a glazed?
I like those.
What's your preference? If you go in, you only get one donut. What are you picking?
Oh, I have that right now. Okay, so that's a very specific.
Okay, donut. Maybe we save that for another time.
Yeah. Okay. But if I'm going to choose over, I'll choose a regular glazed over a chocolate. Chocolate's more of a change of pace type thing.
I'm with you because if I have chocolate milk, that's my chocolate fix.
Too much chocolate.
Yes. And that's my fix for chocolate.
Right.
If I'm going to do the chocolate donut, I'm not doing chocolate milk. I'm doing white milk. It's that balance.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. That's perfect.
So you agree with me on breakfast? There's some breakfast items. Could be a nice skillet is a feeling kind of comfort food where you get that bed of potatoes and you throw some bacon and sausage in there and you put your eggs and cheese on top with some salsa and mix it all in. A skillet can be breakfast to me can fall into that comfort category. Some breakfast dishes.
I agree for sure. Okay. For sure. I think we beat this one up. Let's
ready for another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I kind of like this. We're flying through some categories tonight.
Yeah, I like that.
What is your favorite drink after a hard day of work? Something that when you just feel like you maybe hard. I'm trying to, kind of apply that the way they mean it, but I'm thinking stressful. I'm thinking you've had a tough day. That's kind of how we'll take that. It's been like a pain in the ass day. You're coming home and you're like, I need a drink.
It's likely bourbon.
I think that's the answer for both of us. And I think for me, it's high proof. I want something where I'm like, I'm not messing around.
Yeah.
I don't need to warm up. I want something that's going to punch me a little bit. I need something to take the edge off pretty quick.
Yeah. I think of whiskey in general. I could have a rye. A rye would be good too. Bourbon, that kind of thing. Man,
depending on the day of week, it's probably going to be a rare breed, unless it's like a Friday.
Yeah.
Then it might be something where I go, I'm going big.
Well, a cocktail might not be a bad idea either. Like a Manhattan or something like that. I like those. And actually, I think of maybe this is a different kind of, I don't know, scenario here. But if I have a hard day at work, back when I didn't have a
shackles,
and had to priorities and stuff like that. But I'd go to Yana, my wife, and just say, "Hey, let's go to a happy hour."
Yeah,
and I'd order, maybe a Manhattan or something like that.
Happy hour, I totally get because environment makes you feel a little better. A lot of times the environment you're in can make you feel better. This question says specifically a drink. You're coming home.
Okay, bourbon it is then.
I think bourbon for me too. I like a cocktail, but again, I'm applying hard here as stressful.
Yeah,
and you need to unwind and relax a little bit. I'm going bourbon.
Yeah, I think I am too. I think that's just where I'm at.
With probably a bottle of wine pulled out of the fridge, ready to go.
Well, yeah. I mean, the wine with dinner and that kind of stuff like that. But a bourbon to start and a bourbon to finish.
Probably.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I like how you think.
So, all right, let's go with. All right, here we go. Oh man, I mean, come on.
Is this a silly one?
Ice cream with apple pie or not? Well, the answer is yes.
Yes, move on.
Yes.
That's not even worth.
Don't even come with me.
How is that even a discussion?
I mean, don't even step to Cool Whip or something like that.
Yeah.
Or as Sandra would say, Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
That, the blended vowel or whatever it is.
It's blended, Matt.
Yeah. Okay. Top 5. Well, this is a top 5, but I think it is. Yeah, top 5 seafoods. Man, I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a whole different.
I think so too. That's got to be a category.
Yeah,
that's not going to be a quick kind of thing.
That'll be an episode. Yeah. Okay. What is your go-to dinner for guests? Oh, okay. Now that's not a bad question. I'll let you go first.
Man, I have so many dishes I like to make. It's hard to say one. But I would say if you ask me my favorite thing to make, if I'm going to have guests over who enjoy food and enjoy drinking some good drink, I'm probably going to go with some pan-seared scallops over a risotto.
Okay, that sounds delicious.
For something, yeah.
I like a lot of, I like slow cooker dishes. Particularly, we've had this conversation many times
earlier in this episode.
Yes, let's talk about, or let's get the meal stuff going to where you can have fun with your guests.
Now, and again, my answer was predicated on their first time to my house.
Okay, the first time to your house.
Yeah. Now, if it's a group of friends that have been over multiple times, then I'm changing my strategy because I know everybody, and I'm like, I'm just going to cook a lasagna. Or I'm going to cook this. So, to your point, it's ready to go.
I think I'm kind of going to fall into the category of kind of both. Like it's a slow cooker dish, but it's also really a good dish.
Okay.
And we've talked about it in previous episodes, but it's an Italian dish called straccato, and it's essentially like a braised roast, and then you prepare pasta to go with it.
Okay.
And you actually take the juices that came from the roast and mix in with Parmesan and into the pasta.
How have I never had this?
Well, I usually do it. It's more of a wintertime thing for me because it is kind of.
Yeah, I haven't known you through any winters yet. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to do it. I mean,
hey, I've had borscht, so I'm happy.
Oh yeah, well that's also really good.
That's got to be a winner too for guests.
Oh yeah, well we're gonna have some. Russian potato salad tonight, and that's a really I think a lot of people should really enjoy that.
Well, they're going potato salad, Russian potato salad. What's the difference?
Oh, so it's a small. Well, it doesn't have to be small cube potatoes, but my wife does it where the potatoes are pretty small cubed. Then you have carrots, and they're all boiled. So
soft, good texture.
Yeah, boiled potatoes, carrots, pickles, cut up.
Here's what I love about your wife. There are no fresh onions in this dish.
There are none.
That's right.
Zero. And she feels similarly, just like you.
That's
about
why I said
the fresh onions.
Yeah.
There's green peas that's in this salad. And
it's a winner.
And what we did for the one tonight is, generally speaking, you either put chicken or bologna in it. To me, bologna is way better. I mean, I would
agree.
So what we did was we got a big chunk of bologna for tonight.
So you went the bologna route.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And I put the big chunk of bologna on the smoker while the tri-tip was going.
Oh,
and so it picked up some smoke flavor.
I like how you're rolling tonight.
And then a lot of times they put kind of top it off with dill. And it's
I'm a fan of dill. I know some people don't. Dill and tarragon have become my two favorite herbs. Big fans.
I love dill. How can you not love dill?
Some people don't. I mean, the herb I just can't stand, and a lot of people love it, is sage. I'm not a fan of sage.
Only Thanksgiving. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, I just don't even want it at all. Sage, no. I'll pass. But tarragon, I've made a couple dishes here recently with some tarragon. I hadn't used it a whole lot. Beautiful. The aromas of I absolutely love tarragon.
So I'm missing one component of the Russian potato salad, which I should say the name. I'll probably butcher it. Olivier is the name of it. But boiled egg. They cut that up and cube it up and put it into the salad as well.
I just love that it's a Texas-Russian fusion potato salad.
Yeah. With a little
Texas smoke on it.
A little smoke.
Yeah, I like this. I like it. I can't wait to try it.
So yeah, to me, but that is a like kind of a comforty type of thing.
Oh, I would think so. Even though we're off the comfort category.
Yeah, it's comforting for my wife.
That's right.
Hey, and so anyway, okay, so we've got two more questions in the salad bowl.
Pull one out. What do you got?
Okay, let me whip this out. Who asked this question? I want to know. Do you eat mac and cheese with a spoon or a fork?
Fork.
A fork.
That's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Who eats with a spoon? I mean, you got to be able to dip down. Oh, we're having mac and cheese tonight too, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was like squirrel.
Yeah.
You said mac and cheese.
Well, I'll make sure to give us all spoons.
Yeah, reminded me of the menu. And just so you know, I've got one more down here. So.
Ooh, okay. Is it okay to give a family recipe secret away?
I think it depends on who you're giving it to.
Yeah, I mean...
They probably need to be in the family.
You know, my thing is, though, I just want everybody to cook better, so I don't mind telling people stuff.
Really?
You know? I really
is it a way to pay homage to whoever the family member is who created
so.
the recipe? So, you know, the more you can pass it on, the more people who are doing it, it's just in honor of that family member, grandma or grandpa or whoever it might be.
I'm not a professional.
I like that answer, Matt.
I'm not a professional chef, so I just want to make everybody better. You know, so if you can take whatever thing that I've got, you know, family secret recipe or whatever, and make your food better, then it's bettering society.
Okay, I like your answer. I think that's a really solid answer because I was thinking, you know, you want to keep family secrets, but I think your way of approaching that is way better to get everybody to cook, make better food, and if it's something that you know is fantastic, why wouldn't you want other families making that and putting it on the dinner table or the breakfast table or whatever it is?
I agree. I mean,
solid answer,
I made
Carter.
that statement, but yeah, I mean, I just think it's just why would you not want to give people the ability to make better food?
Yeah, I agree. Okay, you ready for the last one?
Let's do it.
Which is greater, pho or ramen?
Oh, wow, that's a tough question.
We're not finishing on a cupcake, my man.
Oh, man. Okay. God, that is really difficult. Okay, I'll go ahead and say it.
Okay.
I like ramen better because there tends to be, like, you know, you get kind of more ingredients in it. You'll get like an egg in it, and you'll get a, you know, like it seems to be better. I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't even know what to say. I mean, like, I like them both. What can I say?
I'm with you. I like pho and ramen, and I think that's probably why somebody put it in there. They know we both like them both. But I'm also with you, Carter, that I'm going to go ramen. Yeah. There's one thing, not one thing, but there's a certain thing that I really enjoy about ramen that you don't get in pho. And that's that soft-boiled egg.
Yep, that's the
soft-boiled egg is, and I don't care about, you know, because if I go to a pho house, they typically have rice noodles or egg noodles.
Yeah,
I go rice when I go pho.
Yeah, me too.
But I do the egg noodles when I go
ramen. Yep.
And so I don't have that's not a deciding factor for me. I will tell you that, you know, pho to me is more you add sriracha and they give you some sliced jalapenos to put in on top of your soup. Where I do like that ramen's broth comes already with a nice heat on it that you can kind of just enjoy. So
yeah,
they're both fantastic. Both I enjoy greatly. But if I had to pick one, it would be ramen for me. I think with the meats, with the different toppings, with the spiciness of the broth, and with those eggs, and I always order an extra egg, I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, you know. But here's another thing I'll say. Pho, if the broth is done perfectly, like, holy crap, like, you could just eat the broth.
Yeah,
like, it's so good.
I agree. I've had it a couple times this week, and my wife will tell you. I talk to her and I go, I get full. I just eat the broth and I get full. And that's a big benefit to pho and ramen is, you know, if you eat that broth, it's pretty healthy. You know, soup season's a pretty good time of year to, you know, get full on some stuff that's not going to fatten you up that much.
Yeah, here's the problem I had. So I ate pho earlier this week as well. Okay. So here's the problem with pho. You go and eat like pho and you've eaten so much broth. Right.
Yes.
And you're like full, like you're like uncomfortably full for like an hour or something, and then after that you're like, damn, I'm hungry. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's true. But here's what I do like about pho, though. They usually bring your ingredients that you put in the broth on the side, And I'm a big fan of, is it Chinese basil that you get that stem of with all the leaves that I can just pick and throw in? The cilantro, so I can kind of manage when it goes in. And so it stays a little bit more crispy, doesn't get wet in that broth too long. And I love the fresh basil, the fresh cilantro.
Yep.
I love bean sprouts. I'll eat the crap out of those.
Yep.
And I do eat the jalapenos. I like the spiciness in a bite every third or fourth bite.
I like all that. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm just going to have to be forced to answer that question, I'd say ramen.
Yeah, and I will say, I think ramen provides, for me and what I like, a better choice of proteins than I get in pho.
Yeah. So. I think so, too, because you can get, like, pork belly and you can get, all kind of stuff.
Pork in general.
Yeah. And I've seen brisket ramen before.
And brisket pho.
Yeah. So I'd agree with you there.
Yeah, that was a tough one to finish on, but...
it's hard. It's hard to answer that.
Both are fantastic.
Man, what a punch-out that was right there. That was awesome.
Astros up 5-0.
Yeah, Astros up 5-0. Bottom of the seventh.
Game 3, up 2-0 in the series.
Ooh, what a nasty pitch that was. Anyway, so yeah, I think this is a fun. This was.
I love doing the salad bowls.
Super awesome, and we actually got through all of the questions that were in the bowl.
Yeah, I will say the last episode we had 3 that were kind of thought-provoking.
Yeah,
these were, there was a couple, just read them, answer, and put them down. But that's the way the salad bowl works, right?
But here's the thing: we went off on many tangents
because of
the questions in the salad bowl.
This is true. But
so
fun episode nonetheless.
Yes, indeed.
And salad bowl, I think we'll stick around as long as we can continue to have some.
I think we're probably going to have
things in the bowl.
I think we're going to have top 5s, and we're going to have salad bowl pretty regularly.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
Oh yeah, for really sure. Do.
Well, that was a fun episode. We finished another one. Looking forward to the next one.
Heck yeah, man.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey. And until our next episode, enjoy your next pour.
Of homebrew.
We're going to need you to pop another bottle of that.